Hey everyone, this is Alex, co-founder and CEO at Wordcab, and today we'll be looking at the Wordcab component library, which lets you embed interactive components, including a summary, transcript, and audio player into your platform with minimal code. And to get a sense of what this looks like, I actually have an example running over here. So we could take a look. So you can see three components here. We have the interactive summary, where you can make the summary shorter or longer just by moving the slider. And then we have the audio player and the text transcript. And the cool part about these components is that they're all linked. So no matter where you press, you'll jump to that point in the other two components. For example, if I click here, it'll highlight the summary portion that summarizes this section of the transcript and jump to that point in the audio. And the same in the audio and the summary. And if we increase this length, we can actually get more fine-grained control, so we can sort of navigate just by using the summary. It's very useful. And this is actually a clip from the original Frost-Nixon interview, not the movie, the actual interview. And it's a pretty interesting listen.
Slop over,
Definitely recommend it.
You will find I told them to tell of what occurred. But the point is that abstract, as far as my information.
So we're going to construct something very similar to this, and we're going to use very little code to do it. So the first thing we're going to want to do is to create an index file, index.html. And here we'll be including some boilerplate HTML code. We'll start with the doc type. And next we're actually going to want to grab the Bootstrap CSS link, as well as the Wordcab component libraries CSS file. And I recommend you do this by looking at the GitHub repo and the index.html file. I will just copy these over so I don't have to type them out. And that's it for the head tag. Next, we're going to create the body tag. And here we'll have a few Bootstrap components, including a container. And this is where we'll include our first component, the Wordcab summary. This is actually pretty much half of what you need to actually make the Wordcab summary run. It's really simple. We'll create another column. Include some padding. And here we'll have the other two components, including the Wordcab audio player. We'll give it some margin bottom, as well as the Wordcab transcript component. And that's almost it. We're just going to add a footer right after main. And in that footer, we'll have another empty container. Finally, we'll want to copy over the Wordcab component library's JS file. And I'll just paste that from this file here. You could do the same from the GitHub repo. And finally, the last component, the last file that we'll have to type out will be app.js. And all this will do is initiate the Wordcab function. So we'll start with an async function, call it init. And we'll define two empty variables, summary and transcript. And then await a fetch request for a local file called summary.json. And I'll show you what this looks like in a second, but in a real world scenario, you'll actually be importing from the Wordcab API. And the Wordcab function accepts the raw output from the Wordcab API. So it's really simple to get the summary and transcript data. Then we'll catch any exceptions and print them to the console. And we'll do the same for transcript. And finally, we're going to define a constant, I'll call it my Wordcab, and a new Wordcab function. And here all you have to do is define the audio path. We're going to include the Frost Nixon sample clip, and this will be included in the GitHub repo. So that could be a nice listen. And the summary data, as well as the transcript data. And either one of these is optional. So you could just include the transcript and the audio file, or the summary and the transcript, or just the summary. It's up to you. And that's pretty much it. Then we'll start this function by calling init. And that's pretty much it. I will copy over the MP3 clip as well as the summary and transcript JSON. And normally you just get this, at least the summary data and the transcript data, directly from the Wordcab API. And it'll look something like this. The Wordcab API output will have an object, and in that object there will be some metadata. It's deleted here, but you'll also have the summary object, and in here you'll have 1 to 5 summary lengths, which will contain the structured summary data as well as the corresponding transcript data. And then you actually have the transcript JSON. Again, you'll get this from the transcript endpoint from Wordcab, and it'll just include a turn-by-turn of the conversation. And here we're just including them locally for convenience and as an example. And that's pretty much it. This should be able to run. If you haven't installed HTTP server yet, all you have to do is write npm install HTTP server-g. And it should install pretty quickly. And then to run it, all you have to write is HTTP server-p for port, and whatever port you prefer. Here I have 8080. And if we open this, we should have exactly the same app as we saw in the beginning. And again, you can make the summary longer and more fine-grained, or shorter and more abstract. It's just manipulating the data it got from the raw JSON output, and anywhere you click, it'll go to that point in the audio and the transcript. So these components are all interconnected. And that's it.